Your decency.
Yeah, well, that was gone a long time ago.
Oh man, it's so nice out. Yeah, you can see the logo.
Great.
We've been getting shit from.
Want to keep our Greek overlords happy?
Yeah. Can you see the logo? Maybe.
You should have got a better stamp on that one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not my fault. That's Steven's fault.
Fired. Oh, God. That hurt. Slapped my ring. Oh, God.
Clip it.
So.
Yeah, it's so nice out. Do you have any plans?
Barbecue stuff. Like I have not turned on the smoker in, I don't know, since like November,
6 months.
December.
Has to be. Yeah. December?
Yeah, I kind of ran it pretty late, and then it's been off for like at least 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Turned it on a couple days ago for the first time. It just smells nice.
Smells like burning flesh.
Smells not flesh. You smell the wood, the cherry, the oak, the maple. I don't know. Pick a wood. But no, but it just smells great. It's a nice weather. Time to clean everything. And
Nice,
what's really gonna happen is I'm
burning,
gonna be cleaning.
Just burning like pig carcass.
Yeah, fucking delicious.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I do love pork. Pork's like pork
so
has to be
good.
the best meat. No.
No, the best. I mean, yes, probably. It's also just. I mean, there's an argument for beef and Wagyu. And,
I guess
you don't get Wagyu pig. I bet you probably could. There's someone somewhere that's gonna be like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I had this like pulled pork. It wasn't pulled pork like we would consider it. It was just like giant pork that was giant pig that was like it just melt off and you just strip it slowly, and it was in grease, and it was the tastiest.
So good.
Yeah.
No, I'm okay with.
It's funny. You know what they call it? It's called gurunopulo.
I don't.
It's kind of funny. Sorry.
What a funny word
for my Greek.
I'm not even gonna try and.
I just find it funny because it ends in opulo, which is like. Am
I supposed to know what that means?
Like, oh, what's your name? Papadopoulos. Like,
okay.
very
it's
just
like you're so fucking
memeable.
Greek.
Yeah,
That's funny.
So good.
Yeah, no, the
I'm
best
hungry
smell is like when you walk back inside, leave the smoker, you're in there for like 10 minutes, and you just catch a whiff of like your own shirt.
Yeah,
and you're just like, smoke. God,
I'm so hungry.
I know. I could
barbecue.
Yeah. Definitely barbecue.
Couple days.
I got some.
I'm coming over for that.
Yeah, last time I ordered steaks, I got oxtail. I've never made oxtail in any form or fashion, and I think does it
come chopped up?
Yeah,
it's like little bits of everything?
like little squares almost, when it's like freeze wrapped or whatever. You've got the tail, like the tail piece in the middle. Yeah, probably like yay.
Really?
They're not. Yeah, something like this. They're not.
And where's
small.
The bone?
Like right in the center, and then it's like 4 pieces of meat almost. You can kind of like see the sinew between it. I think it's a good low and slow item. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens.
If it's trash, we'll just go get a Euros.
If it's trash, you just smoke it longer.
Yeah.
And then you cover it in barbecue sauce, and it's still amazing. Or we just go to like Select and
I'm so excited for patio beers.
Yeah,
like that's the
season.
Yeah, that's like my favorite part of the summer for sure. Just sitting on the patio, cheap pitchers, and some appetizers.
Where?
Oh man, Bloor Street.
You got the spots?
Yeah.
All right.
It's this place called Futures. Futures Bistro. I don't know exactly what it's called, but they have like $17 pitchers, something like that. I might be dating myself, so maybe it's $19 now, but it's still a good price.
Inflation.
For a pitcher. And get a pitcher, sit on the patio for a few hours, and you're good to go.
It's like it's one of the great
good food. They have really good food there. I mean, good like food that you would expect from a place that's getting a cheap pitcher.
Yeah, it could have like so long as it doesn't give me salmonella. And it serves its purpose.
It'll be fine. They have interesting food there though. Like they have like legit different. It's not just like burger and fries. That's it.
Right.
They have
what's called Futures
gravy on mashed potato. Like they have like
wait, that's new to you?
No,
mashed
but I mean like
gravy.
I don't go to a cheap like pitcher place and they have crepes and their crepes are really or breakfast foods like eggs Benedict and it's actually
with your pitcher.
Well, I wouldn't probably mix those together, but I mean if theoretically, sure, you go ahead. They have like meat pies, like I don't know, it's pretty good. Yeah.
All right. So that's on the hit list.
Yeah, we should go
I'm
there.
here for like literally like this is the season. That is like one of the best things about. Oh, you're crazy.
Uh-oh.
God. I'll explain later. Nothing like bad, just annoying. Yeah, that's one of the great things, the great joys of. I mean, I want to say Toronto, but I feel like anywhere has a bar. Like it's just this season, especially coming out of the cold. Patio beers. I bet you they're rammed right now. They've been rammed since this morning, since 11 o'clock. I bet.
Oh yeah,
every single patio in the
it's
city.
Beautiful, and then, like this whole week, it's gonna be amazing. And that's my favorite part about traveling somewhere that's warm or in the summer is sitting outside, having drinks, just drinking, getting a little buzz, and just enjoying the outdoors is the best. It's the best feeling. Except you've seen me in action. If there's a wasp or bee that comes near me, I like immediately.
That's a wrap.
Like, I hate this.
All right,
I'm out. So yeah,
limoncello for the whole table, just to keep them around.
Yeah, I actually had to drown a wasp at Futures. It was just not leaving me alone.
It's everywhere.
So I was standing up.
Yeah.
It went into I didn't get a picture. I got the extra big pint, the double size pint, big like Stein, whatever they're called.
Stein.
And it goes inside, and it just had to like flick it in. It fell in, and then they're like, "Yeah, they're like, we'll get you another beer."
Nice.
I was making a scene, right?
Leave?
I was like, wasp. So yeah, I'm that guy.
Can they leave it? You can drink another beer. Drink that and then. Well, you can't just pick a wasp out. Free beer. No? All right. I'm going to bring the wasps when I come hang out with you at a patio just so I can get
free beers.
Yeah, it's the play. Just whoop.
It's disgusting.
Scene, beer. Whoop. Scene, beer. Just keep going.
I'm pretty sure after the second one,
they'll figure it out. They'll be like,
this is done. We're done here.
And you go down the street.
Yeah.
That's my racket. That's my whole scam. That's best scam I've got. So, real estate things, maybe. I was at a thing last night. Everyone was talking about Bill 23. All that stuff. We're going to get real estate.
Woohoo.
I know. Whoa, it's been a while.
I know.
It's exciting. It's like legitimately, genuinely exciting possibilities of so long overdue. I know so many people are mad about it, depending on which side of the spectrum you sit on. And I know it's going to become like an election issue, I'm sure. Some things.
I mean, we're all on the spectrum a little bit.
Yep. But just being able to build actual units in
what
actual places is very, very exciting.
What are the top 3 things?
So I mean, the two important, I guess, takeaways, or one important takeaway is that like Bill 23 covers all of Ontario, right? It forces all municipalities to do something about their very restrictive zoning and what they can and can't build, and make everyone get 3 units all over the place. And then every municipality has the ability to kind of take that and take it a step further with their own personal.
Do they have the ability
bills.
To take it a step back?
No, I don't think so. I think the baseline things like the 3 units is mandatory across the province, and they have until, I believe, November to kind of input a lot of those things. There is also, some suggestions and guidelines that I'm sure don't have to be followed to the T. Some would be pretty detrimental for some areas where they would be beneficial for others, I'm sure. So that part is kind of up in the air. But Toronto's taking a more aggressive stance towards more units and making things easier, which is very, very, very nice to see, considering we've been kind of behind the 8 ball for a long time. The basement suites are so much harder to do than Oshawa or Barrie or Newmarket. Like all these other municipalities have such an easy program. And
I'm willing to bet we have
it's not
so many more basement units.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of just become this like known thing that like a lot of the units in the city aren't super legit because, well, we need to do
all the units in the city aren't super legit.
And it's just like this little known secret, but it's not really a secret, right?
No, no one's
just
enforcing it because
tough to do.
If you enforce it, then you have to evict people that then don't have places to live.
We have an issue with housing. They haven't been helping people make more housing. So they're trying to do that. So we're going up to 4 is the Toronto theory. I think I've been thinking it through, like up to 4 units in most existing residential dwellings is going to be like fairly difficult to pull off if we think of like a semi 2-story. Like how do you get 4 or 2.5 story even, right?
Yeah.
Structurally, how do you get 4 unless you have like a big box detached where you can split a couple of basement units out or something. But you can also do 3 and then a laneway.
You'd probably do 4 in like a big bungalow style.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those already, not so legit ones that could now be
one
legit.
Bedroom in the front half, one in the back half, and then the same in the basement.
Yeah, so like just opening that option up to be able to put 3-4 in any residential zone around the city is super nice.
That opens so many possibilities.
So many. A couple other big recommendations that are huge. Parking limitations.
To get rid of them?
0.
Nice.
That would be massive. Like even if, like as of today, how have people done units the legal way? You take a house, you get a basement apartment. That's like you can file it. You can do that through a normal permitted process, or you do a laneway or garden suite. Otherwise, you have such a narrow section of properties that you could actually do like a triplex in without going to committee of adjustment. And committee of adjustment is just like, I'm not allowed to do it, and I want to do it. Can I do it? Then you go fight your case, right? So you're going to spend and time.
Lots of time.
Yeah. So like those were really the two options, basement or garden suite. And basements worked and made a lot of sense for a lot of time. Garden suites made a lot of sense, but made things more like capital intensive. And now if you can take the same house and do 3 units inside, money with no parking requirements, also huge. That was usually what you would like fail on at committee. You'd go to committee and be like, I have a 2. Can I take it to 3? And they'd be like, what's your parking situation? LOL. Bye. But this is Toronto, and even condos don't build parking sometimes now.
Oh man. Okay. I'm saying it.
Uh-oh.
I've been riding a bike for the past couple weeks. I am a fan of
parking
bike lanes.
Advocate. Bike lane advocate.
I am a fan of bike lanes. I never thought I would say this, but man, do they make a difference. I cannot ride my bike on a street that doesn't have bike lanes. It is terrifying.
It's like scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
Like not safe at all. I'm on the sidewalk. I don't care. I'm like, get out of my way. No, I'm slowing down for people. But
lady in the stroller is like, get out of my way.
That happened this morning.
Oh, sick.
That I didn't do. Obviously, I got off.
You got to know the hierarchy of.
Yeah. Well, there's
like,
no. Really, if you're on the sidewalk with a bicycle,
you are below the hierarchy.
You're like the lowest. You're getting off every time you see somebody. You're moving it over. It's a little annoying. Way better than riding on the road.
Smoked.
Oh my god, it's terrifying. Even bike lanes. A lot of the bike lanes that don't have separate barriers, you're a foot away from getting smoked every time a car comes by you, and that's a foot. Like that's like 5 feet too close for me.
Yeah.
Like so. Like dedicated
just ride
bike
on
lanes,
the road.
I was
Take
on
up
Bloor.
the space. Don't do that, please.
No. That's the worst. That's the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
No, I was on Bloor and I was taking the dedicated bike lane that has a full barrier and parking beside it before the street. And yeah, there was 3 times people just walked right in front of me, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing, you dumbass? But I felt so much safer and just kind of casually going, not having to pay attention of, is there a car behind me? Is there someone above? Yeah. Like, okay,
head on a swivel.
You're crossing a street here and there, and it's fine. But man, bike lanes, I honestly think they're a win.
I mean, people bitch about them, but we're a city that can't be all car. Like, what giant metro anywhere can be 100% car driven? I know in the GTA we really love our cars,
right? It's an American thing. Yeah, it's American, North American. All of our cities
more spread out
are built for cars, kind of, or at least transitioned into cars. But you go to Europe, they're all on bicycles. Like a lot of the major cities, bicycle's the way to get around because the streets are so tight.
Yeah, like your motorized vehicle of choice is like a moped. What
do you think about? So I know we're tangent here. We'll go back to the bill, but
bikes are important. We're talking city infrastructure.
So this is the 15-minute city. Have you seen that? So there's this proposal of development. I know very little about this subject before we continue. So do not quote me on any of this. Maybe we'll look this up. It's called the 15-minute city. So what the concept is that new developments and I believe retrofitting current cities, but again, don't know too much. Everything you will ever need is within 15 minutes of you, so that you don't need a car. You can just bike there 15 minutes or walk there, whatever. I don't know if it's walking. I don't know what it is exactly, but it sounds like in theory, it is a magnificent idea.
It is a magnificent idea.
And it's been around for a while, this concept of having little neighborhoods that are self-sufficient, that you never need to really leave. I mean, I guess some people, there's a lot of pushback, which I personally don't really understand the pushback. I think the pushback is that it removes a lot of driving, a lot of cars. So that...
What's the pushback? I mean, I like cars, but I don't understand what the issue.
Well, because people are like, well, now how am I going to drive to this area if I can't drive to this neighborhood anymore? Because there's no car driving areas, roads. I mean, car driving areas are roads. Yeah, there are no roads. They're all bike lanes and all bike and walking paths. But in theory, you would just reduce everyone's need to have a car.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like but I mean, you would still have your car for major.
So you're going.
Yeah,
not everything is gonna.
Not everything's gonna be.
You got friends and family and whatever, but it's still a very good concept.
It's something that we notice.
New city, new urban centers. I can't be. You can't really take and adapt an existing city. I think to that.
Yeah. What you need a supermarket. You need
you just provide all of those things in that specific
rec
area.
center, a school, restaurants, training facility, like work gyms.
I mean, to be fair, I think some of the most valuable places in this city, like the most desirable areas, neighborhoods, tick those boxes to a 15-minute kind of cycle. Sure. And then, I mean, if it's not 15 minutes to everything, it's at least 15 minutes to transit that'll get you there pretty reliably and quickly, right? I mean, stabbings aside, but you'll get there.
Maybe not a one piece.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
But yeah, I think it's a fascinating, not even fascinating. It's just good.
It's
smart
it's what
idea.
people.
It's what you should be. Yeah.
Like the suburbs and the sprawl of new development is a really bad idea, and it was always a bad idea.
We've really liked to just go out and not go up at all. Like when avoidable, we've really had a great time just going wide.
Well, it's because we've had all the space. Like again, you go back to Europe as an example.
Yeah, it's much.
They didn't have the space, right? Like it's really compact. Whereas here, I mean, we have so much room. We can connect to Barrie from Toronto one day, and that could all be urban sprawl, like for sure.
I mean, one day I think it very much will be, right? We're slowly
regulations against
doing
that, but
stuff,
I think Doug Ford's trying to strip those.
Yeah,
so that
I think that's part of what Bill 23 is. It's helped push things along, right? It's made like a 5-year leap when what otherwise would have taken forever. That's why I think there's probably pushback, but I think it's ultimately the necessary direction. Because we can't just keep building out forever.
No,
we got to start just density in general. We get so many people. It's so inefficient to continue to just build out, right? From city planning, from cost to build units, from all sorts of things,
right? Like it's so common here that you can get by doing less than 1,000 steps a day all the time. In our culture,
there's been certainly
most of the steps that most people get will be walking to their car and then maybe grocery shopping, and now you can just order groceries. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be transitioning to that soon as well. But there's no reason to walk anywhere. You're sitting at a desk all day. Yeah. You wake up, you walk to the washroom, you walk to your kitchen. Maybe you're working from home. If you're working from home,
you're done. You get 120 steps.
Yeah, like seriously. And there's a reason that there's a huge obesity problem with cheap food and nothing's accessible by walking. Unless you're right down in the downtown core of cities, which, there's other issues.
I don't think I literally walked from the moment I got my license. I don't think I walked like anywhere aside from my car to a door to my car until I moved downtown.
Yeah, because you lived in City Place.
Yeah, first when I moved downtown.
Yeah, City Place for a while. But that's pretty walkable.
It's very walkable. Yeah. And I mean, I would still drive, obviously, because work was not anywhere close at the time.
Yeah.
But very, very, if it wasn't there, like if it wasn't something I would drive to, like I would walk to get groceries for the first time in my life kind of thing.
It's like a Rabba right there in Loblaws.
It's more, Sobeys. Fucking rip off.
Yeah.
But there was a Rabba somewhere.
There's a Rabba on Front Street, but I think it was a little
Blue Jays.
Yeah, Blue Jays.
Every time you walk down Blue Jays, you can like just smell it because you get blasted by the vent on the way down.
Yeah. That's a great Rabba.
It's the greasiest.
So small. But it's great. I mean, like, it's awesome having the place there. Every time, every time I'm in that area and staying a few nights or whatever, it's the best.
Yep.
You just walk down and get it, and then you walk back up.
Liberty was even better for that.
Liberty's more walkable.
We didn't walk anywhere.
You know what it is? City Place is not as walkable as other neighborhoods. Like if you're on Front Street, if you're in Yorkville, if you're on,
it's just like, what do you have on Fort York?
Yeah,
it's
and
like
still
now they
a
have the
15,
Loblaws
20
at the
minute
corner, which is
walk
nice
from like most things.
Yeah,
because it's its own little kind of development hub. But yeah, like Liberty's super walkable, and
Again,
it's literally like a 15.
I was gonna say Liberty is a 15-minute city, and I think it has to be because you can't fucking drive in and out of there.
No,
especially now.
It's brutal.
But
even walking out of there,
it ticks the boxes.
I think they're making another bridge now.
I don't know if it's done like more than the one that's across to Doro.
They had that one. But I think they have another one now. They're building
cool.
As well,
that's smart. It's so even walking in and out of it was tough.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of avenues.
You're either walking all the way to Dufferin, or to go north, right? Or you're walking all the way to, I don't know what that
Strawn
is. Yeah,
Strachan,
Strachan,
whatever your Garmin decides to tell you.
Is that what it is?
That's when I first heard it. I don't even. First time I drove downtown, it was like on a little Garmin GPS thing. I think it was like Strachan or Strachan or something. And I said that for years. Same with Queens Quay. I said that shit for years until someone was like, "Hey, you're fucking stupid, right?"
Oh man, Roncesvalles. There's a bunch of weird ones though.
Yeah, I've heard a lot for Roncy. I just say Roncy, just to avoid any confusion.
Roncy. God, there's some weird ones for sure. I'm trying to think of other ones. Strawn and Queens Quay are the big.
Yeah,
those are the big ones. 15-minute cities. I think it's a great idea. I think
and like Liberty's a great example. You can do it within larger cities, right? 15-minute communities.
That might be the argument is you can't get in and you can't get out. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to trap people there because realistically, it's so hard to get in. Build them
more accessibly.
Well, it
was built. It was an existing place that is then seen like a gajillion condo towers.
I think that's the proposal, though, is to make more places like that, which is great.
Hopefully, not as restrictive. Liberty by its nature
like there is another way,
very
though, right?
No, just the way Liberty is built by its nature is very restrictive. It's surrounded by train, it's just very tough to get in and out of in general. I'm sure you could do it better when you're not working with such a limited plot of land. But anyways, it's still great idea. And I think just a lot of the build that's happening with commercial stuff in the base of a lot of new condos that are going up in areas helps too.
Yeah.
But it is cool. But in general, I think the push for densification, it's nice to see that it's finally here. The big one for Toronto, huge. I met with the planners. They're the greatest guys. Great planners.
I met with the planners. I said, wow, you're great planners.
Hey, you're a great planner. I don't even know what the fuck that was. Oh, God. Anyways, no development charges. Up to 4 units is fucking crazy, considering just how stupid they were getting pre-Bill 23. I think for a new single family build, it was it's $93,000 a unit or something just for the development charges. Yeah. That's a big that's the most expensive one, I think. But even a 1-bed apartment was $45,000-$50,000, something like that, right?
How stupid are people gonna feel who just paid that 3 years ago?
I was talking to people last night who were I've been in approvals for the last year and a half on a project that you raked me over the coals to get approvals for, and this has just made a more substantial project beyond what I was pushing for easier and faster approval. And now I'm gonna can this whole fucking thing so I can do the easier, faster, larger project.
Yeah,
but whatever. That's always gonna happen. That was gonna happen whenever you put this shit into place. That's going to happen to whoever's got something on the go at the time, right?
For sure. There's going to be the winners. There's going to be the losers.
But in general, it's
the way they set it up in the past was that there's no winner. The winner is the government for getting the money and just stalling you. But even the government's the loser because there's a huge problem.
We have an issue with housing.
Yeah, housing problem that you're not helping at all, right? What were they doing this whole time?
Collecting development charges.
Seriously, though, what were they doing? It makes no sense. You have an issue and you're not solving it. Your one job is to make sure that doesn't happen, right?
That and a couple other things.
Also,
a lot of those stem from that thing not happening.
I've been looking at average ages of populations and
in specific areas.
It's across the world.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the term for it? Anyways, there's over most developed. I'm using that term. Developed nations, developed countries. The birth rate has decreased significantly.
Yeah.
Where there's countries that I believe South Korea is 0.8 per woman.
So
you're losing like half your population in the next generation, because it it takes two to tango, and if every two is making less than one, your next you really need that to be two. You need them to at least keep the population the same.
The average family needs to have 2 kids to keep your population 1-to-1.
Yeah. So we're very lucky here, and how multicultural our whole policy is to bring people in, right? We're like, we'll take 100,000 new immigrants, like no problem.
It's
500,000 new immigrants. It doesn't matter, right? Like we have the space, and that will help us deter from the fact that I think Canadians is probably close to 1. I don't know. Per woman.
Like the population it'll help stem the population decline. The immigration stems the population decline.
Has to be our greatest threat to humanity right now, because and Elon Musk has been saying this, and I didn't really understand it. Well, I kind of understood it, but I didn't really look into it that much. Think about it this way, right? There's 1.4 billion Chinese people right now, right, in China. Where do we get all our goods from? Literally everything is from China, practically. It's produced in China. In the next generation, they had a one-child policy,
right,
for a long time, and now it's going to come and bite them pretty hard, because now they're expected in the next 20, 30, 40 years, their population may halve.
Crazy.
Right?
But as that old aging demographic fades out.
Even if it goes down 20%,
it's huge.
So then what are happening to the products now that don't have those people? Because now those people need to get paid more because there's less people. Right now they're like, who wants this job? It's going to you're getting $1. And they're like, okay. Like there's so many people. Oh, you don't want it? Okay, there's this person. What happens when half those people are gone, and now all of a sudden they're like, hey, actually, I want to get charged $5, and now your goods are not the cheapest things ever. They're really expensive across the board, right? Who's going to be producing food? Half those people are gone, and this is not just in China, right? It's across the globe. It's actually pretty scary to think of. We've been in this abundance cycle in the last 50, 60 years, where there's been super growth in some countries, like you look at Japan, you look at China had crazy growth in the last 20 years. And just in the last 20 years, right? There's been such high growth, and we're so accustomed to it, that what happens when, that the balloon is popped, and it's not just popped in China, it's popped in India and popped everywhere else, and America, and now America and Canada are lucky, and a lot of Europe has also combated this with allowing a lot of immigrants in. Right. So you see a lot of more multicultural areas, but there's a lot of areas that aren't very multicultural. China being one of them. It's just heavily dominated by Eastern Asian people because China's so many diverse areas. But it's hard for them to allow immigrants in because it goes against their whole identity. So what happens to countries that like that, right? Like there's some very solidified nations that have kept their people and culture very intact. That if they have in population, political way of putting that.
But that's huge. That's very very impactful, like globally. But at the very least, like it's 50-50. Like I think it also, I don't know. I'm sure it helps in the long term in some areas as well, where it's like you have too many people in a lot of places and not enough goods to go around. Or, housing is a very good example, very local, very good example. There's too many people, not enough houses. Less people, things start to make a little bit more sense, balance-wise, supply and demand economics of things. But this is a very niche specific, who gives a shit if then the cost to build triples because all of your materials
that's
right?
The scary thing, right? It's the cost will triple, and it could happen in the next 20 years. And no one's talking about this, right? Like everybody talks about global warming or other
that's
issues.
a fucking issue too.
It's not as bad as this issue.
It might more quickly cause that halving of populations.
I don't think so.
But
I think this is the quickest one. Is that holy crap?
It really is going to happen in the next generation.
So what happens? With
it very much is going to happen, right? And it's happening. Like you see it here too. Just either at the very least, families are starting, things are happening much later in life. You need more time to get yourself set up and feel stable and comfortable enough to raise a family, and then people are having less kids. I feel like on average, a
Two
two family instead of a three, or a one instead of a whatever. So we're very much also trending in the same direction, but again, stemmed by immigration to an extent. But the reasons behind all of these other places having such a low new birth rate also exist here, right? We're also seeing a lot of that.
Yeah,
less impactful.
It happens in countries that are more feudal and rely on agriculture, are not as developed in the sense of having big economies and a big financial sector and higher paying jobs. It's free labor. Kids are free labor. That's why they have 10 kids, because they have a farm and they can't hire anybody, so they have 10 kids. And in a lot of these countries,
and no child labor laws.
In a lot of these countries, with certain policies, or even with not certain policies, but males are highly preferred because they make better workhorses. Yeah. So in India, for example, there are 50 million more males than females.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, right? So what happens in that sense when there's all these males that are not going to get married? Fact check me, Jamie.
I'm just looking at.
You should fact check that before I go on this tangent.
No, continue your rant.
It's a big difference, right? And now, if those 50 million people, I mean, you're assuming that they're heterosexual at this point, but they can't find a partner. What happens there? They have to leave, right? Or they just live their life without a partner their whole time, and it really messes with the order of things, right? You need to be close to 50-50 there. That's how they'll survive. But then you have one child policies where you can pick. You're probably picking a male, or you're shooting for a male. That's what happens in that scenario. It's terrible, but it's what happens, right? You need farmhands, and if you have 3 girls, what are you going to do? Or you're going to just shoot for guys because that's what you need. It's terrifying. Anyways, we're lucky that we can have just mass immigration. I think we'll see a lot more of mass immigration in the next 10 to 20 years. And I think everything's going to be a lot different than what we're used to. But that being said, we are in one of, if not the most prime location in the world for all of this to be happening. We are going to be, if not already are, but we are at that 0.0001% of areas that you want to be in when all this happens, because we have the fresh lakes, we have all the space. We don't have the infrastructure. That's the issue, is that we need to build the infrastructure.
Everyone's coming.
Everyone's coming, but
where are they going? This is going to be like a real fire festy kind of next decade.
Yeah, like plopping
here's a tent, here's a beach. Don't call me.
Yeah, don't call me, especially the 6 months when it's snowing and it's minus 10.
That's okay. Global warming fixes that.
That's another thing.
That's another reason maybe it's not a bad idea to be up here.
Not taking into account the potential of, if global warming is a thing or not. Because if it is, and it's caused by us, then there's going to be even more mass immigration. And where are they going? They're coming here. Yeah. They're coming here. This is the first stop.
So we're going to start buying plots of land further north.
Yeah.
We're going to get shipping containers, outfit them like houses, drop them on all these plots of land.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's going to be like
Ready Player One.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly where I was going. Exactly.
Shanty towns.
that's legit it though. Here. You could fully just stack. Well, everyone gets a little VR. Nope, we don't need that. But
you can see you sound kind of like a dictator there. Stack. VR, don't call me. See ya. Bye. We'll pop a Sobeys.
Yeah. It's not going to be a Sobeys.
Filippo's. Fresh Italian.
It'll be the what's the one? No frills.
No frills.
Filippo's no frills.
yeah. Okay. Oh man, that's too good. That's funny.
Well, good luck.
I know that was kind of like it's interesting.
It's very somber.
I like looking at things like this though, the bigger picture of things. It makes a lot of what's going on in the world make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
The power grab of countries and why they're doing it, the oil in the Middle East and why people are so into that, trying to get it. Dude, this is not even talking. I don't.
I know
wanna talk
that's.
about this on the
I'm just
podcast.
here talking about how many more
know.
units can we build in a
That,
little 2-story semi.
to wrap it
St. Clair
is that
and
we need to build a
Oakwood.
lot more than
we need
than
like
we have.
our ability to build is only a tiny piece of the equation. The mom and pop investor assistance, right? It's such a small piece of the pie.
That it's like,
but it's nice to see such a huge step over such a short period of time, and hopefully that is a kind of a
huge legal
predictor.
Step.
Yeah,
because people were doing it.
Right, but it's nice to know that you can do it the legit way. Everyone's safe and happy and yada, yada, yada. And it's just more options. More options is good. More housing is great. No one's going to yell at me for doing it this time. I'm here for it. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think we're still always going to have a huge issue with supply and demand, but c'est la vie. At least we can help as much as possible and continue to build up. And then containers. I don't know. That's it.
All right,
That's all I got. That's all I got.
36 minutes.
I don't know what else to.
We can rant.
I need a new dramatic. Yeah, I have nothing else to just like really make everyone sad, like whatever other stuff's floating in your head.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be sad today.
Sorry,
it's too nice.
am I like the downer of this lately? I feel like
the world is dying.
What will happen next?
India, half the population by 2024. Wait, that was really soon. Shit.
Yo, what's going on in India?
Global warming strikes again. Sharks are in the sky. The fuck? What is happening right now? I have no idea. Who is that guy? The rats underground taking over. God.
Oh man. All right.
Ninja Turtle. Wait, what?
I'll see you next time.
Oh, it's hot in here.
Crack that door open.